Here we go. So, open up for questions. Any questions? We read a little bit? No? Okay. So, how you guys doing on zebras? Forget already or still okay? Still okay? Yeah. Let me change this. Okay. So, now, let's just warm up, review what we did in the past. So first, we want the screen to be fit the entire canvas as much as possible because we want space, right? And now I am not using pen right now. I'm just using mouse because we're not doing a sculpting like a detailed sculpting yet. And first thing you need under document, you will click a new document because by default it said this. Can you see right here, WZ with Windows eyes. So when it's on, we can click to create a new one. So it will look like this. And if you work, when you finish each section, don't restart computer. You just lock it off so that it keeps preference on the system. So if you restart it, it will reset everything when you come back. However, you have no control because whoever right after you, if they restart it, you lose it. So just don't restart it. Okay, so now the other thing is I don't like the range of the grayscale gradient. I'm going to turn it off. There we go. You can change color by picking on the back and then just use a picker. Choose whatever background color you wanted. I'm going to do gray. Never be able to get it right. Okay, that's it. And we can store this. So you have to do save as startup doc. It will save it. Later on though, we're gonna add the common use brushes, change our interface, but not now. Okay. So now, if you click on the light box, let's use light box today, and you will see there's a bunch of free model. Now, for this class though, I prefer you not to use it. You can use it when you do your own project in the future if you are in rush. But it's just because I want you to learn how to do it, like understand a little bit of anatomy, so that when you design your collector or do anything related to figurine, you will do it better. And for this semester, when we talk about the anatomy, it will help you for photographs too, because when you understand it, you can touch up your portrait better, or you can work with light better because you understand that what landmark of the body part or the head or the portrait you wanted to bring it out. So now today, just grab one of this. Double click on it, don't save, and I'm gonna choose dark because it's easier. I'm gonna just review about brush and how to navigate them, navigate the canvas. Once again, right mouse button, you tumble it. Okay. Now, if you click left, right mouse and hold Alt key, let go of the Alt, you can dolly in and out. No, I shouldn't say dolly. It's actually scaling. Pixel is a little different than Maya software. Okay, now to move left to right or pan, you continue to hold Alt key with right mouse button. You can actually use left mouse, but The right mouse buttons allow you to do it on surface also. Can you see? But if you do left, it's actually sculpting if you move your brush over the surface. Any surface will do that. Now, if you wanted to snap rotation, you hold shift with right mouse button. Can you see snap? To zoom out, you tap Alt key while you moving with the right mouse button. Now, if you press F, will frame canvas, frame object, basically. F. And you have perspective and no perspective. So you can do orthographic too. Now, when you do sculpting, like for the first project, you better to turn on perspective, because if you build it based on orthographic view, after you print it out, it doesn't look like what you see on screen, because it has a lot of distortion. The face might be smaller chin, but on screen looks like a square chin, but in the real life object, it's not, because we see in perspective, we see dimension. So now, on the perspective though, if it's too much distortion, like when you're dolling in like that, can you see? If you feel like it's too much distortion, you can't really see proportion between the eye socket and the ear, or how wide your chin is compared to the symptomatic, the cheekbone, stuff like that. What you can do is underdraw perspective. Can you see right now it's really wide angle? You can change this to 85. Or if you feel like 85 is still too wide, too distorted, you can put 120. Try to use like the standard camera, like 120, 130, 180, 200. Because what they did is it's kind of a close to how we look at things in real life. And so I like to go between 85 to 120. So sometimes 120 looks so flat. And then when I print it out, it still looks kind of skinny than the actual, than on screen. Okay. And you might need to turn off time to time. It depends on the situation. If you want to line up something, project 2 would be the time that you will turn on and off quite often. Now you have floor, can you see? If you don't turn on floor, when you render, you will not get shadow casting on the ground. So you have to turn on floor. And if you remember last time we used floor and then we turn on Z or X. Actually last time we used X and Y, so that we can put the image on it, right? So now I can turn it off there. Can you see there's a small, tiny alphabet? Okay. Now, to save these though, you have to use a save tool. Okay. There will, we might need to, if you decided to use, I can show you how to use the spotlight this time instead of using image plane, so that you have more variety of choice. And if you want to save those, you have to save with the under file save project. What save project does though is different than a save tool. You see under file, save as file, it's going to save as a C project. But under tool, save as will save as a Z tool. The difference is Z tool, the file size will be smaller because will not record anything shown right here. And if you have a spotlight, will not save it. If you have texture, will not save it. If you want to save all of those, you have to use this. Okay. So, and they both have different extension. So it means if you save as a C project, you cannot load tool. It will not allow you to load. So you have to use this menu if you save as a project. Okay, so most of the time, at the beginning, we're gonna save as a tool. Tool also save all the sub-tools. You have multiple sub-tools. And so now, if you want to have two dogs in your scene, you can duplicate this and rename and change the size, or you could try to save this file. Let's save it first. Save as. So save as a tool, and we're gonna just test how to import different surface onto the same file. I'm gonna save in here. Week 1, day 2, day 1. So I'm gonna save dog. How about test? And so now I'm gonna load another. How about one of these? There we go. So don't save. You have to load it first, and then you have to save this. Let's save just test. Okay. So now, after that, I'm gonna turn that off, switch. Any object that you wanted to append or insert into your one of your files, it has to show up here. So now I have to reload the dog. Here we go. So now can you see I have dog and the all, I can't pronounce it. So now I should be able to append it. Can you see it will be listing here? If you don't see any object that you wanted to load it in, you need to append it, you need to load it first. So at this point, I should be able to load that. So, okay. Oops. Edit. To clear the screen, Control N. So now you got that. Now, if you wanted to rearrange, you can pick one of these, and then you turn on Move. And let me do this instead, Move, because here we go. And you can scale. Okay, so you add 2. Okay, now let me ask again, people who are online, do you have access to the application right now? Do you guys have access? Sam, Noah, Aaron, Skylar?
I was able to pull it up on the app stream.
Yeah, it looks pretty smooth.
Well, do you guys have access right now?
But it should work.
Hold on, do you guys have access right now, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So in that case, let's do this. Okay. So now, this is the app stream. When you save it though, let me save as. Can you see? It's gonna bring you to the C application somewhere. Right here under navigation, this is for people who are online. Home folder. You wanted to save inside there. So, sample. And then from there, you should be able to, let me see if I am on the app stream or not. No? Okay, let me minimize. Right here. Home. Can you see that's home folder? And then you just download this. I think you need to, hold on, oops. I forgot how I did that. Hold on. Am I on Epstein? Where am I? Oh, yes, I am on that. Let's see, come on. There we go. I did it before. Let me try. Oh, hold on. Let me try something quick. How did I do that? Open with. You should be able to download it from the app. Sorry guys, I don't remember how did I do that. Open with, I did download it once. I don't think it's share. It should be get access to send it to, oh no, that's a desktop shortcut, no. Copy. I'll come back to you on this. I just did it like last Saturday when I test that project, the test ZZ. Epstein. One moment, how to download. Oh, right here is under action download. Where is it? Yeah, that's nope. Hey guys, people who from online, I will come back to you about how to upload this, and I will post it on the how to download your file. But at the moment, for today, when you save it, it should be inside home folder. Make sure you save inside home folder, and then I'll come back how to download them to your desktop. Okay. So now at this moment, I'm gonna clear the screen. We're gonna start it to working on a skull. So make sure you bring the skull that you downloaded. You can download it from the. Let me optimize that quick. Under our D2L. Where's my D2L? I closed it by accident. Hold on. Oops. ETSU. So under weekly lecture, so this one, save link as, I'm gonna save in D drive. Okay. And maybe we can download this right away, already here. So unzip it. You can just right click, extract all, maybe extract under that folder. There we go. So that you don't have to create and move everything to the folder later. Just right click, and I don't need those. Here we go. So this is our reference. we're gonna roughly sculpting it just to get an idea. The reason is you need to understand the bone structure, the human skull, in order to make the model looks kind of represent or close to realistic. And let me show you one other thing that I did. One moment. And this is the progress of the same technique that we're gonna do with the skull. So start off with multiple surface, and then you Dynamash. You see even the eye, separate pieces because it's easier. And then at the end will be look like it will look kind of like this. So from there to here. So now similar to what I did with this model, started exactly same and combine them. This is a head and neck are separate, hair too, and then the but at the end will look like this. So okay. All right. So now when we look at all of this skull, I put the note on the D2L that there's a main landmark that you need to kind of remember right here. So now we point it out where are they: frontal, nozzle, zygomatic, maxilla, mandible, and parietal, and phenols, and right here, frontal. Okay, that's frontal. You have to have this shape. See, it look like a router, and on this is a nozzle. Okay, and zygomatic right here. And can you see this part of the bone is really important because when you sculpt it, it will let out the eyebrow and cheek. Right here, if you don't understand the skull, when you draw or when you sculpt, you're probably gonna have this as a straight line. You don't have any concave in at all. So, and right here too, this is a maxilla. Maxilla is kind of an egg shape. Mandible is the jaw. So, and let's go to the side view. So now you can see it a little better. And so this part is a phenol right here. Okay, let me see. And on the back side, this is a parietal. Okay, right there. You don't have to remember the name, but you just know where it is. You can call back of the head. That's fine too. And temple is not temporal. Temporal is right here, but this we call temple, right? But it's the actual Greek name on the temporal is this part. So now, if you look at, can you see these shapes? So now when you build the face, human face, you need to show that part of the maxilla. So, and when we look at a Rumi, let's see, Rumi, can you see? He really emphasized it on the maxilla. And now, there's another concept we call head plane. And head plane, actually, ZBrush has one. Here we go. Head plane. ZBrush has one. And here we go. You just click one. So now, if you do on your own project, not this project, you can start off with this. and then use the technique that I'm gonna show it to you, and then from there, will be quicker. So, but because of we want to learn how to start it, how to do it, and we will do it from scratch. And the head plan is basically, think the simple plan that represent human head. Now, if you understand the head plan, when you do digital painting, or when you do retouch photograph of the portrait, you will be you will be able to manipulate the shadow and how to combine with different face to another face and so on, because you understand that each head plane is not just only represent the surface, it will show you how the shadow will cast. For example, if you cast the light right here, in that case, let me play. Let's play a little bit, guys. You can try head plane, and under light, we need to bring the light here. Light, and make sure, let's change these to basic material. Either number 2 or number 1, it doesn't matter. Just choose one, because only basic material, any matte cap will not calculate the light. So you can't manipulate the light. So now, when you change to any other material than matte cap, anything that say matte cap will not take the light information. So now, let me dock this. Collapse. You can double click to expand, double click to collapse on the bar of the menu. Now to dock, you just go to light, grab this switch, and dock it. Let go. So now, can you see? You can play with the light there. So while we do sculpting, we're going to use this lighting technique to help us, because when we look at on the plane, you can see we want to see shadow right there, right below the brown.
How did you drag the light?
You just grab, to drag it, you just go to light. Make sure you expand one of these, left or right, doesn't matter. Grab it from here, click with the left mouse button, and drag and drop it. And we're on lighting 1. You can move the point where you want it to cast. So, and we will use that. Okay, so now, let's start it to sculpt the basic skull quickly. Okay, so we're gonna put this light right here. Okay, so do you guys remember how to customize under preferences, configuration, config, and turn on enable customize. Now, you need to have the light show up here in order to move that icon to here. So now, Control Alt and drag and drop it. Control Alt, left mouse button, drag and drop it. And now we can close that, we can collapse this if you want to save it. If you don't collapse it, when you save the UI, we'll leave this open. So that you don't have to go back and close it down. So now, let's save this for now, and then we'll do more later. Turn off, enable, customize, and then save UI. Store it first, store, config, and click OK. Go back. Now save it for your own backup. So I'm gonna save right on my lecture. I'm gonna call, and we're gonna override it over and over. So I'm gonna call my server interface. Yep. And we're gonna override it when we add more stuff, because if we come back, somebody might restart the computer, so we won't be able to see it again. So now let's clear this screen, turn off edit, and just click OK, switch. Control N to clear the screen. Now, if you wanted to start it fresh, you don't want anything on here, you go to Preference, Initial. There we go. Now, when you do Initial, it's clean this, also clean everything. That's why we save the UI. So we go Load UI. We want to load it back. Here we go. Hey. Config. Oh, it's load. Okay, my bad. Because of when we initial, it changed the material back to the default one. So click on the material, change to a basic material. I'm going to use 1 this time, and this will update later until you move a little bit. Okay, so now let's bring the skull image inside here. To do that, we're going to use a spotlight this time. First thing you need, let's bring the texture menu right here, so easy to see it. So right here, drag texture and drop. Okay. Now, right now the texture is off. We're gonna have to import. So click on it. Click 1 and choose import. And make sure you have the skull image somewhere in your hard drive. Click on it. Day 1, skull. I'm gonna get the font, and I'm gonna get the side view. We are not going to trace the image at all. We're gonna use as a reference. In the future, you have 2 monitors. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it on the other monitor. Okay, but because of, I just want to show you how to use it. Now, you have to pick one of them first. When you pick, can you see all of these buttons on? You can click Add to Spotlight. Can you see when you move your cursor? Add on it. It will show up right there. Select the second one and add. So we got 2 of them, and this is the spotlight. Spotlight is allow you not to just use as an image reference. You can actually sculpt with additive or subtractive, and it will follow, somehow it's recalculate the shape into grayscale based on the color RGB. Basically, it does pick only the red channel. And it will help you to sculpt the shape, follow the image. It works in some point, most of the time not really. But people use this to do a lot on texture and bump. So, for example, you could, in the future, maybe I'm gonna make you do it on the second project. How about that? So we talk about that later. We can stamp it. We can even imprint the shape like a high relief or like high relief on the surface with the image, like this texture. Basically, ZBrush will convert that to grayscale and allow you to concave in or extrude it based on whatever the texture is. However, for today, we are not going to use for that. So now, after you add, you can close this. Yes?
Mine didn't do that. Mine used it as a brush.
Are you able to get the image on here? Not at all?
I get a trail of images.
Oh. I'll go look at yours. I think it might be, I'll have to see. Okay guys, hold on, one moment, let me look. Oh, you have to, oh yeah, you're right. Okay. Hey guys, how about this? I forgot. Let's draw something first. I think that might be it. Because we are on screen. Can you add C-sphere? Just add C-sphere first. Okay. And turn off this by Control Z. Oops, sorry, Shift Z. Turn it off first. And draw one shape. Sorry, I know what it is. Some of you might not be able to get into it. And then turn on Edit. So now we can save this, just save as a tool. I'm going to call Z2. Z2. And just save, I'm going to call SkullStart so that we have, okay, now Shift Z to enable. For people who don't have it yet, that's fine. Let's go. Oh, are you okay? Are you able to save it?
It's not letting me switch to edit.
Can you try again? Like click on the tool and choose C-sphere. Okay. And after you choose it, go ahead, draw it, and then turn on Edit. Are you able to now? People who are online, are you guys okay?
Yes, I had to start ZBrush overlay.
Okay. Let me know if you can't catch up. Where's my... One moment, guys. I don't know where my Zoom is. Oh well. Okay. Molly, are you okay? Okay. So now, let's bring the texture back. This button on shortcut is Shift C. So now, after you turn it on, you press Z to enable the tool of the Z tool. Once again, Z toggle on and off to access the tool of the Z tool. To activate the Z tool. Z tool is already activated. But you can deactivate them, but keep the picture on it. So Z, Shift Z is on and off, like on and off spotlight. Shift Z, Z only is enable the tool of the spotlight. Now, you can click to activate the image, and then can you see right here, these are dial. This is scale. You can scale the image down, and then you can move it. Here we go. And I need to add this one. So now I add the second one. Now you can tile them. Can you see? Tile. You have unified tile, and then tile selected. So it means the select image will be larger, and then proportional tile for each image if you have more than one. But this is the same source, so they are same size. That's why they look like that. Okay. So now, if you wanted to move the dial too close to image you wanted, just grab the inside, and then we'll select that image. Oops, sorry. Sorry, I have to click on the image like that, and then you can move this to what do you call it? Change the pivot point, and then you can move around. Yes, go ahead.
It like added a third skull, and so I tried to turn it off, and then now it's like.
It's okay. Can you click arrange this button?
I'm like. So it has like this third one, and I don't know how to get it out of here.
Which one is the third? You have one. You have to select and then can you do? There's a subtract button. Let me see which one is it. Hold on. When I click on it, Oh, you're right.
Okay, I got it. I deleted it.
Okay, good. So now I'm gonna make this small, put somewhere. There we go. And then click on that. Okay. So now press Z off to turn it off. At this point though, we are on a standard brush. Can you try? If you press S, it's shortcut to access the draw size. Can you see? Now, when I paint it, enable sculpting convert to, oh, I thought yes. One moment. Hold on, guys. I thought I open up the, let me escape. The Dynamash. I actually open up the regular geometry, so I have to convert it. So, hey guys, if when you click on sculpt, if it's you get this message, mean you need to convert to 2D primitive. I make a mistake. Here we go. So after I convert it, under geometry, if you remember Dynamash, turn it on. Now, I want you to turn off blur. Resolution, make it low first. Don't do high yet. Enable it. And I'm gonna save. Override it one more time. I forgot. There we go. Let me oh, press Z again. Z. Oh, shift Z. Shift Z. Oh, so okay. Can you turn it on? Edit. Clear it. Always switch. And then click OK. Clear it. Here we go. Draw that one. Do it over. Okay. And then enable edit. Now try to see.
You gotta hit the make poly.
Oh.
And then you go to geometry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like sitting
I forgot that stuff.
Make another one. There we go. Now, to turn it on, shift Z, try shift Z. There we go.
We're
Shift
getting
Z
pretty
again, turn it
crazy.
on. And then Z. Yes, Z to get the tool to move. And Z again with combo.
already for some more.
So select that small, and then just click on it. Just import it. Yes, you got it. And just import it.
Are you taking digital photos somewhere? Oh, I asked you that the other day.
Okay, guys. So now we use that as a reference. And if you look at, let me explain this a little bit. I think you don't have to do it, just watch it. Okay. So, and I think right now opacity is turned on 75% right here, opacity. And at this point, if you move your cursor on the dial, you will see the text explain what it is. So this is a opacity. So I'm gonna turn it a little bit, and I'm gonna press Z. Now, if you look at it, you can try to think of think about three division when you try. It's a concept, and each skull, human skull, are different, but the concept is 3 division. So, first division, second, third, and fourth. So the first one, the line started from around the hairline. You can look at as the frontal, on the top of the frontal, but not on the highest one that connect to the back side of the skull. And then the end of the first section is stopped right around brow, right here. And then the second section stopped right around here. The third one is at the bottom of the mandible. So, and Now, when you divide from here to there, you can do one third again. So 1, second, and third. Some people like to do on this part, on the maxilla, to do four quarters. It works both ways because it's ideal. It's not exactly with it, because if you try to draw 3/3 with the real human face, you won't get it. I mean, it's close but not exact. So that's what we're gonna do on that, on how to, when we talk about proportion of it. So I'm gonna move this away, press Z. Now, at this point though, if you're on standard brush, when you draw, can you see nothing happen? It's because at the moment the brush using sample based on this image. Let me show you what it does. There we go. Let me dim it. So I'm gonna sculpt only. How about that? Can you see? It used the sample of the brush based on the image. So because we are not planning to tracing the photo to the surface, you can in the future, but we are not doing that. So what you need to do is, let me move this away a little bit more. Under brush, sample, turn off spotlight projection. Just remember, if you're going to use spotlight for reference image, you need to turn this off. Otherwise, you cannot touch. You can if you use a move brush, but other brush, it will not work at all because it's trying to sample these pixels to some empty space. So, brush, turn this off. Just remember, I will put a note later on the D2L that if you use spotlight for referencing image, you need to turn spotlight projection under sample of the brush off. So now you could do that. Let me see. Yeah. So at this point though, we're gonna working on the top of the head. Can you see on the side view? There we go. And this time, I'm gonna turn on a perspective, change the draw perspective to at least 85. If 85 is show too much distortion, we can increase it to 110 or 120. So I'm gonna use a move brush. If you click on it and click on the brush and press M. So that is filter out only the alphabet M. And choose move brush. There's a move topology and move standard. Preferable to use move topology. However, if our Dynamash are so large in terms of resolution, it will slow down the system like last semester when we did. Same problem. So I am not going to use the topology right now. Change the brush size to be the draw size a little larger. I want you to form this shape on the side view. So if I press S, I access a shortcut for draw size. And this time though, let's do a symmetry. So go to front view for a moment. And if your symmetry is on, can you see I have symmetry? If I do, I can do both sides. So we want a symmetry X, and symmetry is under transform, activate symmetry X. There we go. So now I'm gonna go to side view, X, side view, there we go. And the reason is because I want to make sure that I move both left and right. So format. And a little bit of that part, I can press F, drag to change the size of the brush. And you might need to look at on the side. Now, after you get on the side done, we're going to work on the font. If you hold shift key, you access smooth. But right now the smooth is so intense, 100% intensity. I'm going to reduce a little bit because I want to subtle touch up to make it soft. I don't want to use the intensity on smooth too high because it might reduce it shrink the shape. So now maybe let me press Z. I want to rearrange a little bit. I think we should bring more image because we want to see the top part and the bottom part. So after you're done shaping, I press C, I forgot to press F C, here we go. Go open up a texture palette again, and I want you to import more picture. Click on the texture, import, and skull. I think we should see on the, oh, I don't have a top one. Well, how about just only two of that? I import two of them at once. Might be a good idea. Oh. Let me add a little bit more. Can you Google top skull? We want that top part of skull. We want to see the top part right here. Here we go. That's a good one. Just download one of them that looks good enough. Hold on, let me. Top part of the skull. Okay. We want one more. Let's do drawing. Here we go. This one better. Save image and put inside skull and bottom part. There we go. I think this one's good. Yeah. So just two more image. That's it. So that we get a really nice proportion. Come on. Oh. You can hold Control click or Shift click so that you can add multiple and arrange it. There we go. I click Start to arrange and then grab one, scale it up a little bit. That's it. Okay, press Z to deactivate it. Okay. And now look at on top view. Okay. So make sure you sculpt font on the bottom. So now the frontal part are smaller than the back side. So I'm gonna grab that. And the back side will be bigger. Okay. So, and make sure you tumble your scene so that it doesn't look awkward, only one side.
How do you get the other images to show up?
Say it again.
How do you get the other images to show up in the?
You have to add them first. Did you import it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then select the image and click add this button right here. Add. So, and after you add, to activate, to completely turn off the spotlight, this button, shortcut is Shift Z. Toggle on and off. Z only enable the tool for the spotlight. So, and I think my font view doesn't look great. Here we go. I know what happened. That it just, here we go. Now it's a little better. Okay. Right now, we just want to get it roughly shaped, so we are not looking at on the proportion yet. So the next thing we need to do is, we're gonna put a, if you look at right here, let me show you. So we're gonna put the section on above maxilla, right around the nozzle. Let me turn that off. Nozzle and the zygomatic, right there. Okay, so I'm gonna add another under sub tool. We're gonna separate them. Insert Dynamesh. You can find Dynamesh. Do we have Dynamesh here? Well, it doesn't have Dynamesh right away, so no big deal. Just insert sphere or something. So I'm gonna insert sphere 3D, and then on the sphere 3D, after you insert, it should convert it to a polymesh that can be sculptable. If it's not, sometimes it does not. You have to convert it. So you're gonna have to make polymesh. But when you make a polymesh, it might take it out from your sub tool and then put it right here. If it does that, just reappend that back. Okay, sometimes it does that. So let's move this. Turn on move tool, and then you move it down. Now, at this point, I want you to focus on the front view. And redynamesh it. So go to geometry, redynamesh, smooth it out a little, shift select. You might need to turn on X, press X to activate the symmetry. Okay. So I'm gonna press Z, and I'm gonna rearrange it again, and I'm gonna grab the font view of this. Click, move, make it larger. So press Z. I want you to sculpt from here to there. So let me bring this also. Here we go. So we can look at on font and side. So this time you can change, you can try this. We're gonna trim it so that we can get started a little quicker. Let me turn on move tool a little bit because it does not, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put it like this. You know what, let's simplify it. Let's make it both a from the right from brown to the mandible, so that quicker. Okay. Press Q to go back to edit. Now we're gonna trim it. So that makes things a little faster. To trim it, if you hold Control Shift, do you remember? Control Shift is allow you to access the selection. However, when we click with the left mouse button, you have more option in there. I'm keeping hold Control Shift together. And then we're gonna use a clip curve. We're gonna clip it. Okay. So what it does is this: when you hold Control Shift together, when you click and drag. Now, at this moment, anything that will the grayscale, the gradient color is indicate the trimming part. Anything inside there will be cut. So we don't want to cut everything on this side. We want to cut the other side. So we're gonna go back. Now, when you add space bar, you can slide it. And then when you let go space bar, you can start it to draw again. There we go. So I'm gonna cut. I think I let go too quick. So cut it. I think I cut it too far. Hold on. Too much angle. Let me undo. Hey guys, I forgot. We need to review the trimming tool. When you click and drag, if you let go the mouse, we'll cut it, right? So now, if you click and drag, okay. I'm not doing good today. Here we go. Here we go. So, now, this part right here, I wanted to trim angle. So let's turn on X, don't forget. And I'm gonna cut. Here we go. So, and do it too quick again. And hey guys, to create a curve, I did it wrong again, sorry. Wrong direction. I wanted to cut curve on the side like this. There we go. So now this is what you need to do. I'm gonna have to start it from here because I want the cutting side to the left. Tap Alt key, one tap, you can add the curve like that. Okay. Want to do more curve. There we go. And I tap Alt one more time and it look like this. Can you see? Okay. And now I'm gonna cut this part on the bottom of the mandible. Tap Alt. I just playing at this point. Here we go. I think this doesn't look good. Okay, that's it. And go ahead, touch up. Hold Shift to smooth. Do you guys remember which brush can trim it? Anybody remember the brush that can be trimmed? High polish, trim dynamics. So click on the brush, press T, trim. Can you see? Trim dynamics. Trim dynamics is better than trim adaptive because it's actually can create a smooth surface across when you're grazing it. But trim adaptive is based on the angle, so slightly different. So I like to use trim dynamics. And you can trim it. Can you see? I'm gonna make the size of the brush a little bigger. You can reduce the intensity if you like. There you go. So, and then trim it and soften it. Now, the reason that I can't soften so much, it's not just only the intensity on the smooth, but also the resolution of Dynamash. So you have to be careful about that. High resolution of Dynamash will take longer to smooth. So trim it. My brush size so big. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off the perspective a little bit so that we get to this point. So that we get a little orthographic looking, less distortion. Okay. So now, if you use click on the brush and press D, so that you are able to access a DIGM standard brush. Damien, basically. The full name is Damien. So DIGM standard brush. And I'm gonna change the size of the draw a little bit. Okay. And I want you to get a mark. So let's say if we need to switch the subtool, I'm gonna go to the top part of the body. So I'm gonna create a kind of hairline. So I think this is too, hold on. The intensity is too high. So this will be a hairline. Now it's too low. So hairline. Do you guys remember 3 span? So with that hairline, and if this is going to be a brow, okay. So now switch to, do you guys remember shortcut to navigate to the subtool? If you hold Alt key, left mouse, click on the object, you jump it to that subtool. So now you can use your finger with the screen. So you can kind of put your finger to manipulate it, and then you mark with the finger, and then you just use a, here we go, use the Damien standard brush to kind of cut to it. So it means this has to be extend, right? Has to be extend, because we want 3 part, 1, 2, and 3. So, like I just use finger.
I'm still trying to get the lasso tool, the trim lasso to work.
Which tool again?
The trim lasso to.
Oh, you have to hold Control Shift.
Yeah.
And then click, and then choose the clip curve. After you click it, you just go to the screen and then start it to click. Hey guys, I'm gonna stop soon. I'm gonna just finish only part because I know some people are kind of behind. And we come back next section, we do more on the skull. And next week we're gonna start it to work on the actual face. Okay. So now at this point, you just need to start it to move part of your geometry to extend it. So we go. And make sure, try not to move this part yet, so you might need to do this. Hold Control key and choose mask. Click on the option on the brush, hold Control key, and I'm gonna choose a rectangle. So mask rectangle, because I want to mask just only that part. Because I don't want to touch it because it's gonna change. And then you just use move to move. And then once again, use the finger to manual it on the screen. Faster. Now that's it, I got it. So, and from here on, I'm gonna just move. And if you turn on a polyframe right here, can you see? You can recalculate this Dynamesh by hold Control key, drag to unmask, and then recalculate it. And that's it. So, at this moment, I want you to try to shape this to make it similar, to just get the basic container of the skull. And I'm gonna turn that off. My brush is just so big, that's all, so it looks kind of awkward when I move. Okay, and we are not going to, I'm going to prepare this a little bit, but we are not going to combine them yet. We're going to wait until next section. Here we go. Okay. That's it for today. Just warm up. Actually, let me move this part a little bit inward. Because we really need to make the main landmark pronounced. Let me trim dynamics to trim some bottom part. Move to look at the side jaw like that. Here we go. Okay, that's it for today. Make sure you save this. We'll bring it back. Save. I'm gonna score number 2. There we go. Okay, and now next time when we come back, these will be gone if we don't save it. So let's do that. Under texture, okay, and under spotlight here, you can export by saving spotlight. So because we want to see this again next time when we come back. And we are not saved in the Z2 or Z project. So under Save Spotlight, click Save, and you can call Skull. Some name that makes sense to you. There we go. And then I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna organize mine. I'm gonna call a Spotlight file. I mean, you don't have to organize like I am, but make sure you know where it is. Okay, so that's it for today, and I'm gonna put the note on the, I'm gonna go and help around. Now, people from online, are you guys okay? You okay? Okay, good. So, I stopped sharing the screen right now. Let me, where is my, okay. Where is my Zoom? I think I lost the Zoom, but Zoom tomorrow. Sorry guys, I don't know where my Zoom is. People who are online, do you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good, but I can't find my Zoom. I don't know where it's go.